everybody, my name's Yvonne and I'm from New Community Ringwood, and I just feel like there's so much going on in the world around us at the moment, and our lives are changing not just week to week but sometimes day to day, and everything feels a little bit different, and I wonder if we need some really good things to put in place to understand where we're at and to help us to make it through. So I've got Zoe here. Now Zoe's a trauma-informed counsellor, and I think she's got some really great ideas for how we can not just survive this season, but really thrive in it and look after ourselves. Zoe, you've got a bit of an idea of something you want me to do today.
I do. We've got an exercise for grounding and calming ourselves at the moment. Everybody's a bit on edge, rightfully so. Our world has changed, and we were talking in a previous clip about our fight and flight responses, where we were all very heightened at the moment, and that's a normal response for us to be having.
Yep.
And so it's important for us to be taking time throughout the day to do little activities that help get us back in what we call the window, help us calm down and come back inside the window.
Yep.
So our fight and flight response triggers us out of a space, and we want to get back in and calm ourselves down.
Yeah.
So this exercise we can do from home, we can do in our back gardens. We're out in nature, we do forest therapy, and we think this is the most beautiful place to do it.
Just up the street.
Just up the street. So if you can get out to a local park and still come outside and do it, we think there's great benefit in doing that.
Yep.
So the goal of this exercise today is just a pen and a paper and somewhere that you can sit and hear some sounds.
Yep.
So we're doing a mindful practice called a sound map.
A sound map.
A sound map. And in a sound map, what I'm going to encourage you to do in just a moment is take a seat, look at the beautiful things around you, but tune in with your ears and really just listen to the sounds around you and then make representations of those sounds on the piece of paper.
Yep.
It's not about an artistic piece of
good,
work.
because I'm not a good drawer. It's going to be a
Nor
stick
am I.
figure,
I
right?
was standing in the wrong queue.
Yeah.
It's not about an artist. You can use symbols, you can use words, you can use stick figures, you can use whatever. I've seen beautiful creations, I've seen my own creations. And so it's really just about a representation. It's really about just being present in this moment. And listening.
Yeah.
And the longer you listen, I would normally encourage people, when we bring groups of people to this very spot and do them, we allow about 15 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer.
Okay.
We won't give you quite that long because we don't want to bore everybody today, but we'll just do it for a few minutes and really just tune in. So I invite you to take
I'm just
a
going to
seat.
sit down here, and you can tell us why we're doing this or what difference it might make.
Okay, so the difference that we're hoping this to make, as we do a number of these exercises throughout the day and the week and the weeks to come, is that we're just training our bodies to be a calm presence for ourselves and those around us. There's a lot of anxiety at the moment, and we just want to keep calming ourselves down. Our brain has three major parts: our neocortex at the top, our limbic region in the middle, and the brainstem down the bottom. Most of us, much of the time, will be functioning out of this top part, our neocortex. But when we get anxious and when we get, a big fright and the things that are going on, we come down here to this limbic region, which is the emotional epicenter. What we're trying to do is just regulate our brain and allow it to function a little bit more normally again. And so by doing these mindful exercises, we just regulate, we come back into that window, and we take ourselves out of our fight and flight space. So we're just going to give Yvonne a couple more minutes, and then we're going to come back and see what she's been drawing. Okay, so Yvonne.
I've done my drawing.
Okay.
It's not great. I'm no Picasso.
You don't need to. I'm going to ask to show you drawing in a minute, but first of all, I'm interested to know what's happening in your body and tell us what the experience was like.
It was actually really good, and the listening was good, but I actually felt the sun coming in on my face through the dappled sun, and I actually could have sat there for a lot longer just listening and sketching and drawing. So it actually felt really settled, and I really enjoyed it. I'm surprised, because I'm usually an action stations kind of person.
Yeah.
But to just sit and draw was good.
When we do the forest therapy, this is one of the activities that people say, I want to do more of this.
Yeah.
Just because it's such a peaceful, calming activity to do.
Yeah,
so I'm glad you had that experience.
It was good. It was very good. So here's my picture.
Okay.
Showing it to the universe. That's me. You can tell by my hairstyle.
I can.
Yep.
So what sorts of sounds did you notice, and what was it like really attuning and trying to hear different sounds in different spaces?
Yeah, it was good because there were some immediate sounds. So there was cars going past on the road. There was kind of you talking, but I tried to tune that after a bit. There were lots of bird noises, particularly over this way, so I could hear them. And then I could hear some knocking. And then I guess for a little while I had to sort of then listen a bit deeper.
That's
And
what
I had
we
to
want.
stop
Yeah,
and go, no, I
lovely.
can hear those ones. What else can I hear? What else? And
Yeah.
then I could hear the wind coming through the trees, and I could hear the wind coming through the rushes down here. And then I heard a little birdie right down really close, just, hopping about.
Yeah.
And then I heard some kids far away. I don't know where they are, but I could hear them talking to each other. And I could hear the water trickling somewhere down in over there on the water. So there were lots of sounds that I
Yeah.
could hear if I stopped for long enough. And then eventually there were some really noisy birds up in that tree, which I didn't hear in the first
Yeah.
sort of listening.
And,
So-
and every day, if we're hurried and rushed and anxious and stressed, we will tune most of those noises out.
Yeah.
And so this is an exercise to just invite those
Yep.
noises in, and I think you're demonstrating that a sense of peace and a sense of calm
Yeah.
began to develop as you did that.
It didn't happen straight away, particularly
No.
when I heard some kids there. My mind then went back to all the things that I'm panicked about or worried about, and I had to then go, no, that's right. I'm not trying to solve the world's problems. I'm just trying to
I'm
listen
regulating,
and just be
yeah.
fully here right now. So
Beautiful.
I had to choose to come back into that
Yeah.
space and listen, and
Yeah.
it was good.
Good.
Yeah.
Something you do with your kids?
Yeah, I think so. For me, there's kind of two things. One, I've just gone live to the universe and shown my picture, and there might be some people who go, "Oh, couldn't have anybody knowing that I was doing that. That's just like not brave, or whatever.
cool.
I don't know, not cool." But nobody actually needs to know you're doing it. You just
No.
take a little scrap of paper and you just sit quietly and you just have that time. And I think that could be good. Or alternatively, I could take my kids out in the backyard and give them all a piece of paper and
Yeah.
explain to them why we're doing it. Like, let's just listen and see what you come up with. I think my kids would like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So one more easy little thing you can do, whether you're at
Yeah.
home, whether you can get in your back garden, whether you can get outside
Sit on
somewhere
the
beautiful
balcony
like
and
this.
listen up, wherever you've got to go.
Yeah.
I guess the other thing I'm thinking of is if I'm going to get my kids to do it, what
Mm.
I don't want to do is just set it as an exercise for them to have to do.
Yes,
I actually think the better example will be for them to see me doing
absolutely.
it and to hear why I'm doing it
Doing
and to
it.
talk to them about,
Yeah.
like the world is complicated and I actually want to be really in control of how I'm feeling and how I'm doing.
I'm taking charge
And
of
this
me.
is why I'm doing it.
Yep.
Why don't you guys come and do it with me?
Yes.
And I think that will be so much better than seeing it as a good exercise I can give to my kids and tick off another good thing to do.
Absolutely. You'll get more
Modelling,
out of it.
is that it?
Modelling.
Yeah.
You'll get more out of it. They will get more out of it. It
Yep.
becomes a collective exercise. And it's lovely when we do it as a group. We bring groups of people who don't know each other.
Yep.
And then we invite the opportunity for people to share that experience. And some people like
Yep.
to and some people don't. And I think you could do that with your kids too. Who wants to share their story?
Yep.
Who doesn't want to?
I guess that the other thing that happened in me is while I was sitting there and the sun was shining on my face, I felt like there was a spiritual opportunity for me to listen to what's going on the inside
Nice.
as well,
Yeah.
which I don't think we're very good at. And I
yeah.
think that's a really critical thing, and I want to do that much better, to listen to what's going on in me and have that as a spiritual practice in my life. So,
Nice. And nature is a beautiful place to be able to do that if
Yeah.
you're able to get out in it.
yep, great. Thank you, Zoe.
Pleasure.
Again, you've got so much to offer us, and I want to just draw it all out and share it with the world. So thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.